Welcome everyone. Our today's topic is speciation and human evolution. So student, this topic is from lesson heredity and evolution, and we have already completed fourth part of this lesson, and this is the last part, that is fifth part of this lesson, and this is for class 10 science 2. Now let's study today's topic. Alright, now let us first understand about speciation. So what is it? Student, speciation is the process of formation of new species from existing of population. That is formation of a new species of plants, animals from the existing, that means from their ancestor. It is of old species. Old species will develop, will form a new species of plants and animal. This is called as a speciation. And speciation occurs when a group within a species separates from other members of its species and develops its own unique characteristic. That means when a group of a particular population of animals, plants or birds, so what happened there, when they will migrate from one place to another place, or they will separate by means of their group, so the new species develop with a new characteristic. Okay, with their own unique characteristic will be developed within a new species. So this is called as a speciation. Alright, student, formation of a new species of a plants and animals is the effect of evolution. That means when new species of plants and animals from the older species, what happened, they develop some new characteristic, and this is the evolution or modification is the from older to new ones. Okay, so this results into the evolution. That means new characteristic will develop. And a species is a group of organisms that can produce fertile individual through natural reproduction. It means a group of organism will develop a new species with the by the process of reproduction. So student, reproduction is a process by which the new organism will be developed from the existing species or existing or older organism, and they develop new characteristic. And each species grows in a specific geographical condition, like each species grows in conditions like their food, habitat, reproductive ability and period is different of each and every species on the earth. And however, genetic variation is responsible for formation of a new species from earlier one. So as we have seen in second point, that new species will be formed by the process of a natural reproduction. So in the process of a natural reproduction, what happened, the genetic variation will be happen in new organism. Okay, that means some of the genes will be dissimilar from their older organisms. Okay, so this is a genetic variation. It means changes in the gene of older organism within a new organism. And when the genetic variation will take place, then only the new characters or modification will be developed into the new species or organisms. So besides geographical and reproductive changes are also responsible. Now geographical condition, that means their food, habitat and the surrounding environment, the reproductive changes are also responsible for the evolution and speciation. And similarly, geographical or reproductive isolation also leads to speciation. That means their geographical condition, that's their habitat, their living place and the reproductive pattern should be changes for the speciation. Then only the new species with new or modified characteristic will be formed or produces. So this is all about the speciation. I hope you all have understood this. Okay, now here I have given one example of speciation. Okay, so this is example of speciation is related to the Galapagos finches. That is, this is a kind of a bird. Okay, so different species of these birds live on a different island in the Galapagos archipelago located in the Pacific Ocean of the South America. And the finches are isolated from one another by the ocean. So we have seen in the previous slide that speciation needs their reproductive and geographical isolation. Okay, so when the finches are separated by the ocean, group of finches are separated by the ocean. That means some of the finches are migrated from one part of the ocean to the another island. Okay, so as they are separated, migrated or isolated from their group, what happened, the finches which are migrated from one places to the another places, that shows the modification in their beak. Okay, That means the new species of the finches have been produces with the new types of a beak. So alongside you can observe the some finches are cactus eater, and some are the insect eaters and fruit eaters and seed eaters. So different types of related to the geographical habitat or the pattern of eating food, they show the modification in their beak pattern. Okay, so that means you can easily observe that some finches have the long beak, and some having the medium beak, and some have very small type of a beak. Okay, so these are the modification takes place, or the new species are takes place from the older species of finches. So over millions of years, each species of finch develop a unique beak that is specially adapted to the kinds of food it eats. So just now I have explained this point, and like here you can observe the small ground finch, medium ground finch and large ground finch. So they show the modification in their beak. And some finches have the large blunt beaks that can crack the hard shells of nuts and seeds. So you can observe here the seed eaters and fruit eaters. Okay, so they have the large beak, large and blunt beak. Okay, blunt beak, so that they easily crack the hard shells of the nuts and seeds. So these are the ground finches, crushing beaks. And other finches have the long thin beak that can probe into cactus flowers without the bird being poked by the cactus spine. Okay, so they are dependent on the cactus. Okay, cactus flower. So that is why they have the long beak. So these are the cactus finches which are dependent on the cactus flower. So long beak will help them to eat easily the cactus, so that without being poked by the cactus spine. So they do not get harmed by the spines of the cactus. They will easily reach to the flowers. And next, still other finches have the medium sized beaks that can catch and grasp the insect. So here you can observe the insect eaters and fruit eaters. So they have the medium sized beak or small size of a beak. Okay, so that they can grasp easily, they can catch and easily grasp the insect. That means they are dependent on the insects. So this is an example of the Galapagos finches, which is the best example of the speciation. Alright, now our next topic is the human evolution. Student, the biodiversity that is known today has been said to be formed from various simple unicellular organisms due to the evolution. So we have seen in our previous video that the multicellular organism has been formed by the unicellular organism. That means unicellular is a basic type of organism on the earth. And in this evolution, the origin of a human evolution can be shown as per the I will show the picture of human evolution later in this slide. And last dinosaur disappeared approximately 7 crore years ago, and at that time monkey like animal, that means after disappearance of the dinosaur about 7 crore years ago, then at that time the monkey like animals are said to be evolved from some of the ancestors who were more or less similar to the modern lemurs. That means the monkey like animal who are similar to lemur has been evolved from their ancestor. Okay, and the tail of these monkey-like animals of Africa is said to be disappeared after 4 crore years ago. That means about 7 crore years after disappearance of the dinosaur, what happened? The monkey-like animals have been evolved that is similar to modern lemur, and the tail of this monkey-like animal have been disappeared about 4 crore years. Okay, so this is the evolution takes place gradually. Alright, now after disappearance of the tail, what happened? They developed due to the enlargement in their brain, and hence their hands were also improved, and thus ape-like animal were evolved. Okay, so after the lemur-like animal, ape-like animal have been evolved due to their enlargement in the brain, and the hands also improved. And meanwhile, these ape-like animals reached the South and Northeast Asia and finally evolved into gibbon and orangutan. So this is a gibbon and orangutans. That means they similar looking like these animals, gibbon and orangutan. Okay, so this is a evolution. Alright, now student, the remaining ape-like animals stayed in Africa only, and from them the gorilla and chimpanzee evolved about 2.5 crore years ago. So you can observe here that the evolution, okay, some of the species are migrated and some of the ancestors are there only the original places only. So this is how the evolution takes place by the isolation and migration of the species. Okay, and evolution of the some of the 2 crore years old species of apes seem to be occurred in different way, and they had to use their hands more for eating food and the other work. Alright, so student, those apes started to live on land as the forest started to decline due to the dry environment. It means instead of living on the forest, they are started to live on lands. Why? Because the forest are becoming dry, and their lumbar bones develop in such a way that they started to stand in erect posture in grassland, and thereby their hands became available for use anytime. So in second picture you can observe the ape like animal, which is like somewhat curved shape, okay, like monkey like shape. So when their lumbar region, that is their backbone, has been straighted, okay, due to the erect, and the animal become erect in posture, so that they walk easily by the erect posture, okay, and their hand also become available for the use. That means they are using their hand for the different purposes. And these first human-like animal with erect posture, which were using their hands, have evolved about 2 crore years ago. So this is the evolution happens gradually. That means 7 crore year ago, then 4 crore, then 2 crore, 2.5 crore, like this. Alright, now first record of a human-like. Okay, so the first record of human-like animal is with us in the form of a Ramapithecus ape from North India and East Africa. So this is the Ramapithecus ape which is evolved from 1 crore year ago. Okay, so this is the Ramapithecus, and afterward this ape grown up in size and become more intelligent. Thus the ape of South Africa evolved about 40 years ago, and this is the name of this species is Australopithecus, okay, which is happened 40 lakh years ago. Alright, now the morphology of these human-like animals started to appear like to be the member of the genus Homo, and about 20 lakh years ago, and thus skilled human have been developed. That means their external structure is somewhat related to the human, okay, you member of a genus Homo, and 20 lakh years ago this skilled human have been developed. And about 15 lakh years ago, human walking with their erect posture due to their erection of their lumbar region, okay, posture was evolved, and it may have existed in China and Indonesia of Asian continent. That means the evolution have been taken place within the different isolation of the groups, okay. That means some are related to China, Indonesia, Africa, Asia, India, like this. And this is how the ancient man learned to start counting. You can observe here the slits on the stone. So this is the ancient man learned to count the numbers. Alright, now evolution of upright man continued in the direction of development its brain for the period of about 1 lakh years, and meanwhile it discovered the fire, okay. So you can observe here the development in their brain have been taken. That means the size of the brain has been enlarged, okay, from ape-like animal to modern man. And they discovered the fire also. Now they discovered fire by rubbing the two stones against each other, and they used to make fire in front of the caves, so that to scare away the wild animals, so that they can live easily, and they are also using fire for their cooking purpose. And development of the human brain, and they discovered fire, and brain of 50,000 year old man had been sufficiently evolved to the extent that it could be considered as a member of the class wise man, Homo sapien. So Homo sapien is the scientific name of the human being, and Neanderthal man can be considered as the first example of the wise man. And the Cro-Magnon man evolved about 50,000 years ago, and afterwards this evolution had been faster than the earlier. That means from 7 crore year ago till the 50,000 years ago, the evolution have been happened gradually. Then after 50,000 years ago, what happened? It becomes little faster. Evolution becomes. Alright, and about 10,000 years ago, wise men started to practice the agriculture. They using their skill or their brain for the agriculture, and it started to rear the cattle herds and establish the cities also. And cultural development took place at that time, and art of the writing was invented about 5,000 years ago, and thus the history had been started. So when the art of writing started about 5,000 years ago, so history is started there. And modern sciences emerged about 400 years ago, and industrial society was established about 200 years ago, and now we have reached at this stage, and still we are searching the details of roots of the human ancestry, which take place the crores, millions of years for the evolution. So this is a very gradual process, takes place from 7 crore till 50 till like 400 years to 200 years ago. So we are still searching the root of the human ancestry. So student, that is all about this lesson. I hope you all have understood all the parts of this lesson. And so thank you.